Gelish was actually the first gel polish that came out on the market. A lot of people know about shellac, but Gelish came out about a year before shellac. It just C&D had the marketing power to push it, so everyone knew about it first. It's the only gel polish that has over 120 patents on their formula, the color suspension, so you don't have to shake the bottle. Most of the time when you go to like Cosmoprof and you see it all oozing out of the bottles because somebody went crazy shaking it, which you don't have to do with Gelish. So they have a patent on that. It's one of the only gel polishes that is guaranteed to last at least 21 days, 3 weeks. So obviously it's going to be grown out and kind of ugly, so people will come in sooner, but you can guarantee it'll last at least 3 weeks for people that go on vacation or have something going on where they can't come in as often. There's literally no odor. Sometimes it smells just like regular nail polish, but it's really easy to apply. You don't have to ruin the nail to like scuffing or filing the nail bed. It's real easy to put on. It's easy to take off. So if somebody has it on and wants it off, their nail will be fine when you remove it. It's not going to be all crazy damage like acrylic would be. It's very popular to put on top of acrylic because some of you know, like she's my client, she has gel on top of her nails and it doesn't chip, it doesn't fade, it doesn't crack. With regular nail polish on top of acrylic, it'll fade pretty fast. So it's actually really cool. So I can get started and start talking about the product as I'm putting it on.
Okay.
Or you might the different collections of colors that they just came out with. There's information about the different lights and the difference between their 18G LED light, their Pro light, and then a traditional UV light, which most other companies use. So you'll see the difference in times and everything on that. So I'm gonna, she removed most of her gel, but I'm going to just simulate it. This is one of the tools that Gelish has that helps. It's real easy and safe to use on pushing the cuticle back. And it's also what you'll use to scrape off the gel, which I'll demonstrate. We need a little bit. And this is actually their gel removal wraps. It's a real pretty thick, durable foil. So you only need a little bit on here. And you always want to cover your product because it will evaporate. And you just put it on. Really, yes. You twist it to prevent any air or liquid from coming out. And is this gel or is this acrylic?
No, gel.
It's gel? Okay.
So did you do anything on the nail prior to pushing up the cuticle, or no?
No, it's just, this is just to help break, like sometimes the cuticle grows out with the line of the gel.
Okay.
So you just want to push it back a little so there's a little bit of natural nail so the nail remover liquid will like go underneath the edges. Yeah.
Got it.
I'm going to do a couple more.
So you do kind of like a dry manicure?
Yes, this is only a dry manicure procedure. You don't want to use any water because if you soak the nail, it will cause lifting.
But a lot of people will put a little bit of, they don't necessarily soak your nails, but they will put cuticle solvent and push.
You don't want to use any cuticle softeners or any kind of liquid on the nail because it will cause lifting and then it won't. You can't guarantee it for 3 weeks. This is, yeah, you just want dry. At the very end, I'll demonstrate it, but you do nourish the cuticle a little bit. And a lot of times, like with pedicures, you can do a dry pedicure and then do the gel, and then you can soak their feet later to do the callus removers and stuff. Because once the gel is on the nail, as long as it's applied properly, it shouldn't lift at all.
So do a lot of people do it on the toes?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yeah, regular.
Yeah.
Doesn't it last like twice as long?
Yeah, but I never really had an issue with my toes. I just gonna come, not this time.
And soaking them off the toes, you do it the same way?
Yes. So I'm just using Harmony's 155. I'm just gonna scuff the top. Usually when it's, she's already tried to remove the polish, but usually you'll start off with using their buffer, which is a 100 and 180 side, but you'll use the 180 side to just scuff the top to break the top seal, and then it'll be faster to remove, because if you don't break that seal, you'll sit here for like 20 minutes trying to remove it. And that's usually the same for any product that you use. I'll do 4 nails so I can...
First, and then you put the...
Yeah, you want to break that seal. If it's super shiny, like not lifting or cracked or anything, then this can't penetrate all the way through, and then you'll sit here forever trying to dissolve it. So, yeah.
Should I just show them?
Oh yeah, you can. It depends. It usually only takes a couple minutes. It shouldn't take very long at all. By the time you put them all on, you should go back to the first nail, and it should already be coming off real easy. This makes it real easy, and it's pretty ergonomical for your wrist, so you can just scrape it right off. If it doesn't come all the way off, sometimes around the free edge it'll stick a little bit longer, because I'll demonstrate it to you, but you have to cap the free edge. Sometimes there's a little bit more on there. But this holds its shape, so all you have to do if you need to reapply it.
Or put it on another finger.
Yeah. You can just pour a little bit more in there and just slide it right back on. And you just lightly scrape. You don't want to like stab the client. You don't want to scrape the actual nail. You just want to lightly push, because these are pretty sharp tools. So if you push too hard, you'll take off their actual nail. This stuff is really, really sticking on me.
You know what? I found it to be really good, actually. You know, I had a manicurist that she would not worry about taking it all off. She felt that it's just going to add to strengthening it if you leave some on. If you try to take it off and it doesn't come off, whatever is not lifting, kind of like an acrylic.
Technically, you can do a fill if it's the same color, if it's the same product. If this product will interfere with the way this product sticks. So whatever product you're using, you're going to want to stick to the same thing if you're going to overlap it.
Do you ever do that?
I don't. Most of the time my clients come in for a completely different palette. Yeah, they want it new every single time.
But it might just make it thicker, and what's wrong with that?
Like I said, if it's the same product, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know how that product works, but say if I did this, where is it, Hot Rod Red, which is just their like vintage solid red color. If you always wore that color and it's not lifting or anything, I can buff it, apply, around the new growth, and it'll be completely fine to put, like, just fill in the part that's grown out.
Yeah.
So when you have a fresh hand with no polish, you're going to use their buffer on the 180 side, which is usually the printed side, which is a higher grit, and you're just going to buff the nail. And you always want to make sure with any file, even the buffers, that you season the edges, because they will be sharp and you will cut your client like a paper cut, and it really sucks. So you don't want to do that. But you're just going to remove the shine. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just remove the shine.
Is it like medium coarse? It's not like really rough?
No, you can feel it if you want. It's really pretty fine.
Oh, okay.
This is also what you would use like after acrylics to buff it out before you put like your top coat. And on the other side is the 100 grit, but you could use that if you're trying to like scuff the top of, like, to remove it. But you never want to use anything coarser than that on the natural nail.
So on top of acrylic, you use it to just preserve the color?
I always do a clear coat at least if I'm not doing any polish, because it won't chip or fade, or it stays really shiny until their next visit. But I didn't do that one. But I use gel colors so it lasts longer. And then to do the free edge, they have the 240 grit file. It's really, really fine. You don't want to use anything too rough, because it'll leave little rough edges, and when you put the polish on, you're gonna see it really, really clear, and you want it as smooth as possible. So you always want to do the free edge, and you always want to get up on those corners just to make sure, especially for those clients who their nails are really curved, because you want to make sure when you put the polish on you get a clean application, because it's not like nail polish. Once it's cured, it's not coming off. Gonna wipe it down, try and get all the dust particles off.